Let me put it this way, that data has already become a big frontier for the Indian telecom. Of course, the technologies around that data, which is basically 3G, 4G, 5G, what we saw in Barcelona yesterday, today.
Yes.
There's a huge technological developments taking place around the data space, virtual reality and all that kind of thing.
Right.
And I think it's necessary that we also continue to remain on the ahead of the curve.
Right.
And on that frontier, and we as regulator, of course it's for the industry to really take it forward, but we can facilitate and we should facilitate the growth of data growth and the growth of technologies around it.
Right. In fact, 700 is the next big thing that is being talked about. Logically speaking, this is probably the best time to actually have the 700 auction. Do you think that's so?
Yeah, that's what we have recommended. We have
Right.
recommended 700 megahertz auction, and we believe that with the kind of propagation characteristics and the technologies which can be built around it, I think it's the right time to. And after all, people talk of ecosystems.
Yes.
Now tell me, India is a leader in this area.
Right.
And if India doesn't really take a lead in developing the ecosystem and around it, who will do that?
Right.
So I'm sure once the auction takes place, I'm sure the ecosystem will also, whatever has happened in other countries will also sort of be replicated here in India.
Right. So the debate around pricing, or what should be the ideal price, really continues to happen as far as pricing of spectrum is concerned. Even yesterday, Mr. Kulao mentioned that it has to be a fine balance to ensure that investments continue to happen in this sector. Sir, do you think that is a debate that will continue to exist in India, or do you think, given that market prices or market forces determine the pricing, it's really a non-issue, so to say?
No, I think you just you said that market determine the price. So essentially, what TRAI has done is using various models and using various kinds of formulations. We have arrived at a certain recommendation to the government, and that recommendation has been given.
Right.
And we feel this is only a reserve price recommendation.
Right.
Ultimately, when the bidding takes place, that bidding will decide as to what price. Ultimately, market forces will decide that.
Right.
So I think this is really a hyped kind of situation, that it's too high. I don't know. We think that it is the right price.
Right. So one of the key issues that TRAI is looking at right now is interoperability of set-top boxes, something that will actually be a huge boost as far as consumers are concerned. So how soon can we see that move coming
Well,
out?
what we have done is that we are going to float a concept paper, and I think I am very clear, and the TRAI is also very clear, that we need to continue to maintain the consumer focus. And if consumers have a choice of changing kind of having a interoperable set-top box, which means like a mobile phone you buy. A mobile phone is completely independent of the kind of TSP you subscribe to. Similarly, a set-top box, one component of set-top box must be a typical commodity hardware, and the other component could be a SIM or could be a card, which can be changed as per the operator. So this is the architecture which we are trying to figure out. We are putting up a concept paper, and we will work around. We will look at the technical feasibility of these models. Some people are saying no, it's not feasible. Some people are saying it's feasible. So we will actually work with those people, everybody, and figure out as to whether it is feasible or not. And my sense is it should be feasible, because after all, if there is an intelligence to be put in the set-top box, that intelligence can be encrypted and encapsulated in a SIM also. I mean, SIM is a fairly intelligent piece of hardware. So that should be possible, but nevertheless, we'll have a look at it.
Right. So one of the big things that of course TRAI has taken a decision on is of course net neutrality. Do you think, sir, that has sort of set the tone for a global debate on this subject, given that this continues to be a matter where still there is a lot of ambiguity around the world, so to say?
Well, let me preface it by saying that TRAI has not really decided on the question of net neutrality. What TRAI has done is that certain aspects of net neutrality from a price perspective, tariff perspective, have been kind of decided in the regulation which you are referring to. Yes, when I came and I met the regulators yesterday, for example, I met the chairman of FCC, then of course the Swedish regulator.
Right.
Everybody is saying, yeah, you have taken a particular stand, and it's so certainly this is a debate which is sort of going on. European Commission has taken certain stand, USA has taken certain stand, many other countries are taking stands. So that debate will go on. I'm not sure how much we have contributed to that debate.
Right. But what did the FCC chairman say, sir? What were his thoughts on this big decision?
Well, we discussed. I mean, there were no thoughts around it. Of course, they have a different set of issues and different architecture, and so some of the principles are quite common, but some are also quite distinguishable. And we believe that what we should do basically should be relevant and to our country.
Right. So my last question to you is on this subject again, there is a sense that, if you look at it, companies, internet companies, telecom companies, consumers, all of them are of course stakeholders jointly in this entire issue. At some level, do you think there would be some way of reaching out even probably to the telecom companies as well, given that they are also part of this ecosystem and stakeholders? Do you think that needs to be done, or?
I think when we you are referring to the same debate
right.
on tariff
on tariffs,
differentiation.
Yeah.
No, if you remember, it was a huge, sort of two months worth of consultation process.
Right.
And we did consult every stakeholder. In fact, the telecom associations and bodies, they filed their viewpoints. Right. Many other, I mean, it's a huge record for the TRAI. You have had millions of responses.
Yeah.
So,
yes, historic.
You can't fault the consultation process itself. You may have your difference of opinion on what the decision TRAI came up with, but the process itself was absolutely flawless and absolutely consultative and transparent.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.